back.
Thank
Can
you.
you take a seat?
Good seeing you.
You too. So, thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know last week you kind of touched base on your work situation, and I just wanted to just say that, so whatever we talk about here, it is kept confidential. I'm not going to like tell anyone. And then you did sign that informed consent before we started our last session last week. And yeah, just a reminder that, you know, it's a safe space and whatever you say, it's kept between me and you. Is that still good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. So how was that situation you talked to me about last time, that work? How's that going for you this week?
Right. So, as I had mentioned before, I'm kind of, I'm in a weird situation because I want to leave my job, but I tend to think too much about what people will think of me if I leave. It's also kind of like it's becoming too much, and if I leave, I won't be able to afford my academics. So it's a big thing. Like it's important for me to have, but I'm scared of leaving because I've worked with this team for 3 years. So I feel like they're gonna like think bad of me. So I'm like, it's stressing me out because I'm hesitant to leave. So that's kind of like my situation. Yeah.
So it seems like you want to leave because you're kind of stressed out, but you don't at the same time, just because you've been with them so long, you're afraid that they're going to think like you're bailing on them. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the financial part, like, how am I going to pay for school because my parents can't help me with tuition. So my employment's been how I've been able to sustain myself academically and financially. So it's going to take a toll on me if I do it. So I'm kind of like I have to make a decision because it's affecting my academics. So I have to try to find a balance, but that's the hard part.
Right. So it seems like you're trying to find how to balance your academic and your work and have it not all, stress you out. And then you mentioned, so you're trying to pay for tuition. So does that mean like you're a college student?
Yeah. It's my third year at the university.
Oh, cool. What university do you go to?
I go to Cal Baptist University.
Oh.
So it's in Riverside.
Awesome. And what's your major?
My major is psychology.
Oh.
Yeah, so I really like psychology.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're learning great stuff in our methods class, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. And I know. So, is it full time at work?
No, part time. So I work about 20 hours a week, and then I take about 18 units. So it's just a lot. So if I'm not at work, I'm in class, and it goes both ways.
So you're full time at school and you're part time at work.
Right.
Does that cause you any like stress or like psychologically? How does that work for you?
Well, it does cause a lot of stress. I think I'm always trying to catch up in my academics because of my work. It takes so much extra time out of my schedule, and so psychologically, it's kind of traumatizing me because I'm scared about like finding employment after if I leave because of like I might get too comfortable and I might not want to go back, and like just the work it's becoming too much. So I'm kind of just like in a situation where I don't really know what to do.
So it seems like it's taking a toll on you.
Yeah.
And
it's draining me.
Yeah.
And like it's hard for me to get up out of the morning because I'm always really tired. So my energy level is just really like low. I don't really eat that much because sometimes I find it too hard to find time. Not that I don't have money, but it's hard to find time and to eat.
Yeah. So it seems like you're not getting enough sleep, and that stress at work is not allowing you to, keep up your energy level that you definitely need, especially with school and work.
Yeah.
And so, with that, do you have any, medical conditions that might be adding on to, your stress, or any past or current medical issues?
No, you'd say like chronic?
Yeah, chronic or just
no, anything? Not really. I mean, I'm a little overweight, but like I have to do better at that. But other than that, like No, nothing like no chronic illness, nothing that would impose a threat to my health, things like that. But
Right.
so no.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So do you I know you're stressed with school and work, so do you ever kind of go to alcohol or any like marijuana or any kind of substance that you kind of go to?
No, I mean the influences around me,
Mm-hmm.
other college students do those things. I try my best to not hang around those people. But myself, no, I don't. I mean, some people say caffeine is a drug, but I mean, I drink coffee, but I don't abuse it, and
Right.
I don't smoke or drink any
Okay, so
alcohol, any substances. No.
okay, that's good. That's good for your body too,
Yeah.
you know. But so you drink coffee, but not you don't.
Yeah, not excessive.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay. And then, do you mind if I take notes
No,
sometimes?
that's
No. Okay.
cool.
And so, do you ever feel? I know you're stressed. Do you ever feel like hurting yourself or hurting others? Anything like that?
No, I've never had the want to hurt anyone,
Hmm.
especially myself.
Okay. That's good.
I
Just
don't
want to
really
make sure.
see why. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure that you're safe. And I know all this stress can get to people, so
Mm-hmm.
just want to make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
And then it seems like you do a lot, you know, part time, and they kind of like expect a lot from you and kind of want you to do a lot. And school's already, you know, 18 units is a lot of courses. What are some strengths that you think you have? I think with you just taking that on is a strength yourself. But what are some strengths that you have yourself?
Um, well, s- so some strengths that I guess I have are like, um, I would say I'm able to manage my time.
Hmm.
I don't know how effective I am with it though, but I do my best to try to manage. I feel like I'm very organized, so I like to, my space where I'm working or if I'm studying, I like to be organized. I feel like I'm really open minded. I like hearing new ideas about new cultures, things like that. I don't like to stay like my own selfish way.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I'm open minded in that sense. I feel like I'm able to listen to people and to, just be someone um, that can hear other people's issues and try to have a conversation with them about. And so those are some skills I think I have.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So it seems like you enjoy learning new things, learning new backgrounds, and that you're very organized.
Mm.
And that's definitely something that we all need, especially since I think maybe you think you mastered it along the way, you know, having to balance work and school.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if, like I say, I master it, but I feel like I'm constantly developing those skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I get better at it every day. Sometimes some are stronger than others, but
Right.
I think I'm developing
Yeah.
those skills little by little.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's really good. I'm really proud of you for, you know, being able to identify your strengths as well. And those strengths that you have are very important. And I think it's, you know, been helping you to be able to manage the school and work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
of course. And so speaking of work and stress, is there anybody that or any family friends that you're able to go to as support? I know, and I think that's probably like a big thing with all
Right.
that.
I do. I tend to go to my immediate family the most.
Mhm.
I have 3 siblings, and so they're all different ages. I'm the baby, so
Mhm.
I'm able to kind of seek like
Mhm.
one for like how did you get to where you are, one for
Right.
like advice, and one just to make me feel good about
Mhm.
myself. And so one that I get along with a lot, and so I'm able to utilize my siblings. I live with my parents. They're really supportive in what I do
Mhm.
and the decisions I've made, and so I think they're my go-to
Mhm.
people. I do have my friends also in my program that they've been such a blessing to me, and um, there is. Are we talking about just good people?
Anybody? Yeah, you can.
Like I mentioned earlier, like with the whole like people around me, there are students that like they invite me to go like to the club and they invite me to drink and things like that, and I just don't like to do those things.
Mhm.
So like those people are there and they're my peers and they're cool, but I don't go to them as
Mhm.
like a support system for myself. You know, I don't benefit anything from them other than like academics, how we can like help each other and things like that, like studying and stuff. But other than that, it's primarily my family and you know my four close friends. I have some cousins too that I'm actually really close with, so I'm able to bond with them and escape sometimes when I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I just need someone to talk to. They're always there for me.
Wow, sounds amazing. Sounds like you have a really good support system at home and at school. And you mentioned how there's people at school that they maybe invite you to clubs and maybe go drinking and stuff. So going on that, have you ever had any like interaction with like the law, anything that might have had some conflict with, ever been like arrested or anything like that?
No, I've never had any trouble with the law. No, not that I'm aware of or have heard of anything like my parents have told me. I've never been in any issue with authority and no issues.
Okay, that's good. And so you talked about your family. You're very close to your your immediate family, and you have some friends as well. And then you mentioned your family. So did they give you maybe any stress from your family, whether it's with them or maybe with your work or like your job, that maybe kind of correlate together that you've been having?
Like family stressors?
Yeah.
Not really. No, I wouldn't say that they, you know, cause any stress to me. Sometimes I get stressed seeing them stressed. I don't know if that's the same thing. Like, I don't like to see my family in distress. I don't like to see them go through a difficult situation. It just makes me feel uncomfortable, so it puts a stress on me. But it's not them directly toward me. It's seeing them in a situation, and I don't like to see them. So sometimes it's like a financial issue, you know, that's a difficulty in getting something paid or, you know, managing finances sometimes. So it's like an indirect stress on me. It's not like they're screaming at me or anything like that. It's like I see it and I see them going through something, and it worries me. So that's just something I would say is like a stressor, but it's more indirect. It's not directly toward me or intentional, but by being with them, I see that, and so sometimes it stresses me out a little.
Yeah. So you're very genuine. You care a lot about your family.
Yeah.
But so there's no so that doesn't cause you stress with like your work or anything. That's just something that you kind of feel when you see other people stressed. Right.
I mean, I guess it kind of, so at work, it gets stressful a lot of times. And so I feel like I kind of relate seeing my family in a stressful situation to like my coworkers. I see them get stressed about different things. So maybe it's like, it's too much, and like where I feel safe is like in the home. And then I see that happening there, and then I go to work and I see that happening to the other people. Again, it's most of the times it's indirect, but the real issue is me not being able to balance my work and my school. And so I feel like I need to step out of work for a little bit or for temporary. And so but no, I mean, I feel like I'm able to manage for the most part, but recently it's just kind of gotten out of control, and that's where I'm stuck, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to decide, and yeah.
So you're saying that you feel stuck, you feel stuck at home or at work, or tell me more about that you feel stuck.
I feel stuck in the sense that I don't want my coworkers to think less of me, like, oh, Aaron can't manage his job and he can't manage his school, so that's why he's like failing. I have a lot of pride, and so I feel like there's a lot of judgment that can come with that. And then occasionally I help my family out financially, and as like I mentioned, I pay tuition. So like in the sense that I feel like stuck is like I don't know what to choose. I don't know whether to keep. I mean I have to stay in school, but I don't know if I need to keep my work if it's just putting more stress on me. So I feel kind of stuck because I don't know like what to do at this point. It's gonna affect me in a negative way. More if I keep going at it, but even if I stay in it, it's still gonna like it's not. I don't think it's gonna get better. And if it can, I don't know how to get there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it better.
Yeah.
I think I've tried different ways, but I can't seem to get it.
Seems like it's just stressing you out. So how would you rate the overall satisfaction at your work at this point?
Between what?
Between like how maybe it was in the beginning and how it is now.
Like 1 to 10 type of thing, like a 6. 6 being like average and like bad is like 0 and 10 is great, fantastic. I'd say like a 6. Just because it's getting too much to handle. So I like it, and I like the benefits I get from working. I'm able to pay for things that I need and be able to attend school. But the situations that come up at work, we deal with students, and so a lot of times I see the stress in them too. So that's probably like a third party where I see stress happening, and I stress for them. So I think it's like too much, and I care too much about what people think of me, and so that's why I'm kind of just stuck.
Yeah, that's tough. It seems like you're doing the best you can, but I know within all that, is there anybody at work that you're able to go to? You know, maybe when you're stressed and feeling like this, is there maybe any coworkers, any supervisors that you are able to maybe vent to and, you know, talk about all these emotions that you might be having?
I do have one like really close coworker. She's really cool, and so we kind of complain about things together, and so we're able to like discuss like what we're frustrated with, or you know, who did something annoying at work or things like that. And so I do have someone at work that I confide in, and I'm able to like talk about things with them. But yeah, I do have someone. Yeah, everyone else like they kind of just tend to.
So that's good that you have someone. And do you have any like a significant other that maybe you have like a relationship with anybody?
No, I don't have anyone.
Okay. So kind of going into more of your cultural background, you know, like just maybe how do you identify, your age, and you know, your ethnic background.
How identify? Well, I'm 21 years old, male. I identify as Latino. As Hispanic. My parents are both Latino. My dad's from Mexico, my mom is from Peru. So I identify kind of with all three, even though I was born here in the States. I really embrace all three cultures. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
That's how I identify myself, yeah.
Okay, good. And kind of going into that, so are all your basic needs at home being met? I know that you work and you go to school. How about like personally, like are you able to have, you know, like food, healthcare, anything like that? Is that being met in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I guess thanks to both my parents are unemployed, so because I sustain myself financially, I always have food. Like I mentioned, sometimes it's hard for me to find time to actually eat, but like food's always been provided to me, and thank God for that. And I mean, I have health insurance, not like the premium one or anything, but I have insurance, so I'm covered if I need help within that regard. I have a home, I have a roof over my head, things like that. Clothes, I always have clothes. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have what I have, and so I'm appreciative of that. But yeah, I have my needs met.
Okay, that's good. It seems like you're able to have a roof over your head, food, and you have healthcare. So that's good that you're able to take care of yourself, not just with like clothes, but also financially and with food and everything. So I know you kind of mentioned it was really quick, but you said thank you to God. So what about spiritually? How is that? I know you have stress. So maybe is there anything like you cope with by using anything spiritually or anything?
I identify as a Christian. So I mean, I believe in God. I believe He exists, and I believe He's the one that provides my day-to-day needs. I go to church regularly. I find community in that sense. Church is a big factor for me. I mean, I attend a Christian university, so I'm able to express my faith in an open way. I really enjoy the faith community. A couple times there's been some like issues where like I didn't feel comfortable going back, but I found a new church or congregation that I'm really comfortable in, and I feel like fully accepted and everything. And so, in that regard, spiritually, I believe in God and that He's the one providing for me and equips me, to get through every day. And so, yeah, spiritually, that's what I believe.
That's good. That's wonderful. And so, talk a little bit about community. So, is there anything that you do in your community that you're able to maybe go to, or anything that you do just outside, like events, anything that your community provides to you that you use?
I guess in the sense, like I mentioned, like with the whole insurance thing, like because my parents were unemployed, we use like the basic insurance that our city gives. So in that sense, I use that in the community. Is it like social communities or like resources?
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, in that sense, like we utilize like health insurance from the state and city, things like that. That's really about it. Also, like my church community, that's the biggest community I like enjoy being with, and I'd say my community of friends and family also, they're a huge help and benefit to me. So I thank God for them.
It's good. So it seems like your community is kind of on church and your friends.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then, is there any like coping mechanisms you use or coping skills that you use when maybe you're feeling stressed with work or school?
To cope, I really enjoy listening to music. I feel like music is really powerful because it's so diverse and you can learn so much through it. And I just really like listening to it. At work, I usually have music playing. In the car, I have music in my room. I have music playing. I don't like silence, so I usually like having music.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, so I have my phone with me. A few other ways I like to. I really like to be with my friends and family, the people that I like to talk with. They give me. I feel I can be open with them and disclose things that I may not disclose with everyone, and so I can confide in them that what I share with them they keep to themselves. And so when I get really stressed at work, like I said, I have that friend that I'm able to like talk with and see how like there's a similar situation happening, how we take it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean those are some ways I'm able to cope. And I like to be outside. Because I'm in class or I work, when I can be outside, I like it. So I like to just get out and admire nature and things like that. Yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. Seems like you have really different things. You like listen to music, like to go outside, and you have friends that you're able to go to. So it seems like just by using those, maybe you're able to help that stress that you have at work and kind of try to balance it out with school.
Right.
So it seems like even though you're stressed, you have, you know yourself, and you have people that to help you with all this. And yeah, it's been a pleasure hearing your story. So that's awesome. Do you have any questions for me or anything you want to comment on?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay, so this does conclude our session, and thank you so much for sharing everything and being open with me. And yeah, so I'll just go ahead and we can go ahead and make an appointment for next week, and I'll see you then.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.